What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Satisfactory. As I look off in the distance and see the scale of our factory growing, I'm super happy to be making this video and back in this world. The possibilities of this game are just crazy, and I've been thinking about what I want to do for this next part. So, obviously, I kind of need to make things a little bit different going forward, so we're going to work on that. And the first thing we're going to do, is just get right into it, I guess. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to complete this milestone. So we have everything we need. We're going to launch that little rocket pod.
Milestone reached. Several new structures are now available for improving factory organization. Foundations provide a building grid, which makes it easier to manage placement of any structure. In the event that you are experiencing amnesia for all events prior to planetfall, be reassured that memories of beloved humans and/or animals would have only been distractions from your important mission.
The next thing we really have to do, though, is complete the objective here. This phase 1 objective. And the pod won't be back for another minute or so, which is fine. We'll be back. We're going to start this one, see how close we can get to it before it's time. Before this gets back. We'll be right back. Alright, the pod is returning. And I believe we have all the stuff we need for this. Let's double check. Oh, we need some more rods. Perfect. Anyway, let's complete this next milestone. And these two things here, base building and logistics milestones, are going to be literally the very foundations of everything that we're going to do going forward.
Milestone reached. Conveyor belts can now merge, split, and lift to save space and enhance the productivity of your factory. Fixit encourages you to consider investing in verticality when it comes to factory logistics. If you feel stressed by this complexity, imagine yourself on the shore of a vast and calm ocean. Breathe in. Visualize all the people relying on you. The sea is made of billions of faces, each staring at you with hope and tears in their eyes. Breathe out. Feel refreshed and focused on your duties.
That's good enough for me. I'm ready to get to work. And speaking of, let's, it's this one, yeah, let's take a look here at these. What are these things called? Chips? I think it's the only thing that's chips. Oh, why is it caps lock on? Processor? No? I don't know. Let's figure it out. No, it's parts, right? Why can't we... Are we not capable of making that, or what? I'm a little confused right now. Okay. Let's take a look down here then. See what we can do. Completed all of tier 1, now we got tier 2. Oh, maybe we need part assembly. Yeah, that's probably it. Let's select this milestone and we'll get going on that. Anyway, I was getting way ahead of myself. I haven't been at this point in the game in a long time. So what I want to do is I want to build out a little bit with these foundations. These kind of foundations here. And I want to get sort of a open space so we can bring all of our resources to one area, right? Because we have copper, we have iron, we have limestone, and it's just going to be there's more and more varied items that we need to bring probably to this area, or we're going to want to bring to this area, so that we can produce, the vast majority of our goods in this spot. Because this is a really good spot. There's a lot of stuff remarkably close by that's going to help us in the long run. And we won't really have to we won't really have to drive it or you know, the logistics of bringing it to this area is fairly simple by comparison to a lot of things. So that's the plan. And I'm going to make the first incision, I guess, right? Is it Alt? Yeah, okay. So if you hold Alt and use your mouse wheel, you can get a new bar. And now we're going to use, let's see, start here. Use these because there's a few more other things that we want to get. And it's going to be 7. It's going to be 8. Okay, just a little building set. And then logistics is going to be on its own thing. We have conveyor belts, holes, lifts, mergers, splitters. Okay. Here comes our thing. And let's work on this. So we want to utilize basically, let's see, maybe this area out here in this canyon might be really nice. So let's start there. Actually, we need to get some stuff. And when we have enough resources, we'll be right back. Alright, so we're back. And I want to talk about 2 things here. First is a world grid, which is something that I highly recommend building on if you're new. You don't have to, of course, if you're more veteran player. But having everything on the world grid can make your life super easy, because if you build something in this area and you build something in another location, everything will line up. Amazing. So that's why, you know, that's highly beneficial to somebody that can, or that's looking for something like that. All their, you know, if you want to do remote bases and things of that nature, but you want everything to still line up, building on the world grid, highly approved. But we're not going to do that in this playthrough. We're just going to be a little bit more, you know, I don't know. We're going to vibe with it a little bit, I think. And the second building tip I wanted to talk about is build mode here. That's the R hotkey. You see how it switched from default to zoop to vertical? Let's try zoop. So in default mode, you click it and it builds whatever you want, right? Now, if we go to zoop, now we click, and we can draw up to 10 of these foundations at a given time. That really speeds up the building process. Something that I definitely recommend for players of any skill level. If you didn't know that you could do that, highly beneficial. And the last tip I'm going to talk about before I just start building this by myself and come back to you once it's fully set up is we've chosen to build with 4-meter foundations. You can tap E and you can go to the different sizes. But one of the things you want to avoid is building at least the first foundation of your builds with the 1-meter foundation, just because it could be at any of these levels. You know, it could be anywhere really. Like if we see how we can, you know, it could be anywhere. So it's just very hard to tell. And if you really want to get things to line up, it's better to build with 2 or even 4-meter foundations, which we're going to use here. Just because, again, you know, it makes it easier. But as we build this stuff, you know, there's stuff that's coming. I mean, we're gonna look, and I guess the last thing we'll talk about is now we see that we were really actually very close to this other patch of iron. So we have already unlocked another patch here, another way to we can use all this iron to build something else, right? So I'm saying, and not very far away now that we can see that our vision has expanded because of the size of our factory. Now we see, you know, in the very beginning, the scope is very large in the world, right? But it's much closer than you think. In the distance, we see another limestone, and that's going to help us to build more concrete. Very important concrete goes into all of these foundations, so we need a absolute metric you-know-what of it. And the more we can make now, the better. Next thing we're going to do is, yeah, well, we'll be back. We'll talk about it when we're back. Anyway, I'll catch you when we're back. See you soon. Alright, everybody, we're back. We have all the, we haven't built anything yet, just so you know, but we have all the ingredients for part assembly milestone. We're going to unlock that right now because, as I said, we really need to begin. Hang on.
Milestone reached. The assembler can produce more complex parts, including the first project part, smart plating, which is crucial for initiating project assembly. Project parts must be delivered to the space elevator. By completing your contracted duties as part of project assembly, you will definitely be helping achieve Fix-It Company goals without any other ulterior motive. Note: humans cannot craft project parts. Do not worry about your inadequate crafting skill when compared to an assembler. Fix-It cherishes your innate human abilities, such as walking, striking objects, and commodifying natural resources.
Ada is seriously heartless, but Ada is love, Ada is life. Next thing we're going to work on, of course, ticketing. Nah, just kidding. We're working on chainsaw. Absolute necessity. But let's talk about what we just unlocked here, the smart plating. Now that we can actually do this part. Let's take a look at smart plating here, what we need. We've unlocked a few things. Rotors, modular frames, smart plating. And we're going to need all those things. We have now been able to, we've been allowed to unlock, what am I saying? Do we even have it? We don't have the assembler. Did Ada lie to me? I thought you said we unlocked the assembler. Oh, we did. Never mind. I'm losing it. We've unlocked the assembler. Because we have, like Ada said, we have to produce the smart plating in an assembler. And the way we do that is we need reinforced iron plates and rotors in the same place. So reinforced iron plates, we know how to make those. Iron plates and screws, which we can make all this directly from iron bars, right? Because in the last episode we unlocked iron screw alternate, or cast screw alternate recipe, right? Okay, you see where we're going with this? We have one full production line to get reinforced iron plates just from one single resource. And we don't need to do anything. It's all a single step to make iron plates, a single step to make screws. And we have our reinforced iron plates. It makes a good production rate too, 5 per minute, because we're going to need that. We're going to need to figure out how many per minute we can make, and then that's going to justify how many more rotors per minute we need to make, which again, like, same thing here. And we can make a ton of these, right? So we want to make, you know, a little bit excess for that, because we want to have some rotors and some reinforced iron plates. So that's what we'll work on in our factory, right? We're going to make a factory essentially to make smart plating, and then we're going to use the overflow to fulfill our personal needs as we build buildings, because the buildings require these different items, right? So we need 1 per minute, or we need 5 per minute, and 4 per minute, which is, you know, look at this. That's 5 per minute, and that's 4 per minute. So we really just need 1 assembler each to make smart plating. How about that? Okay. Catch you when we're back. Okay, everybody, we're back again, and we still haven't really built anything. But we just had a power outage, and we have restored power, but we finally have accumulated enough goods to complete the next milestone, which is obstacle clearing, which, if we haven't taken a look yet, gives us solid biofuel and the chainsaw, which is both 2 things we really need. Let's get that going.
Milestone reached. Solid biofuel, created from any biomass, ensures maximum efficiency of biomass burners. To aid in biofuel production, the chainsaw allows for the removal of tougher wood and coral foliage. Additionally, your pocket dimension has been inflated to increase inventory size. Inspirational note: will you be the Fix-It Employee of the Month? You could be if you construct, automate, explore, and exploit by eliminating all obstacles to efficiency. This isn't just fun, it's contractually mandated fun, fun, fun.
Okay, so now, instead of just creating biomass, what we really ought to do, we'll take this out of here, just to illustrate what we're trying to find, what we're trying to do here. We're going to create biofuel. Hopefully I'm still recording. Let's go. Alright, that's enough for now. Let's head over to our equipment depot. And what does it take to make a chainsaw? We need some screws, naturally. Luckily we have this one constructor just making screws. And look at that, it's exactly 160. I did not plan that at all. Alright. So let's equip this bad boy. Oh yeah, look at this thing. Vroom vroom. Alright, let's go chop down a tree. Yeah, we're not eco-friendly here. Let's do it. Now something that's really nice is that they made it so that you can chop down... I think it's very loud. They made it, wow. They made it so if you chop down one tree, or you can chop down all the trees in an area. It's very handy. Sometimes you do want to leave the foliage up. A lot of times though, you don't. Anyway, we'll be back. Sneak peek. Hello everybody. Looks like we have stumbled upon something. Uh-oh. Someplace we shouldn't be. What did we get?
Samples of unknown alien species acquired. Their weaponized plasma is most likely stored as a stable chemical substance in an organ close to their mouth, and only turns volatile when exposed to one of the chemical elements in the air. Research the remains in the MAM to establish classification and potential countermeasures.
Also found this crazy thing here. Mercer sphere.
Listen to the rhythm. The astrobiologist Dr. D.M. Mercer was the first to recognize the presence and probable nature of these alien artifacts. These chain-melted state spheres are named in his honor. Each sphere emits a unique signal. Research it in the MAM to establish locally appropriate classification and application.
That's going to be something that's extremely important to us. We built a little bit. We're not ready to showcase what we built yet, but we'll be back. Look at that thing running in the distance. Kind of terrifying. We'll be back in a bit. We're back really quickly in the MAM, and we're going to unlock the Mercer Sphere research.
Mercer sphere analysis completed. Established local planetary signature of massage 2, AB, in the local Mercer sphere signals, allowing them to be tracked by the object scanner. Mercer spheres can also transmit data between specific...
Witness our scripture, witness our windows. Have you come to defile our shrine? Sing us a song.
Arguing the existence of intelligent alien life. While Fix-It has figured out the method, all of the original data is still untranslatable.
Alright, well, looks like we found something that we shouldn't have found. And we've unlocked a whole new branch of technology to see through. And it's very important that we get through this and start unlocking these things as soon as possible. They're of extreme benefit to us. Anyway, we'll be back shortly. We have more to show. Alright everybody, we're back. We kind of took a little detour. I know we were going to go after the phase 1 objective, but in the end we needed to refine our starting base. We really need to get ourselves in a place where we have all the things we need at our disposal in the quantities that we need at any given time. And so in that endeavor, I decided to redesign this little starter base, and we've taken over quite a bit of space when you think about it. We combined our original area, those 2 nodes over there, and our copper area with this new area of 3 normal nodes, 3 normal iron nodes, versus our 2 impure on that side, to combine forces and do a lot of different things. So on that side we have our basic stuff. We have plates, we have rods, we have screws, and we have wire. But let's look at this little section here, and this is our power plant. This is the heart of our factory, our bio mass burner farm. Currently we have 6 of them running 30 watts each, so that means we have a total of 180 watts at any given moment, megawatts I think. Yep. And currently we are using 122.6 with a maximum consumption of 146, so well within our capacity of 180 megawatts. And we are doing quite a bit, as you saw. Not only are we powering our basic iron refinement, we are at any given moment able to power our biomass production, where we put wood into this hopper, essentially, this storage unit, and leaves into this one, and then it automatically creates biomass, which will sit in here if we overfill it, which I mean, we can at this point, but then turns that biomass into solid biofuel, which again has its own little hopper that sits here, which we can pilfer from, which is why I have it kind of open like this, so we can just walk right down here, take whatever we need for our chainsaw. Okay, and then on this side we have our basic copper production, where we're stockpiling some cable, and for future use some copper sheets, right? We may not use any of those in the near future, but in the far future we are going to be patting ourselves on the back for that little inclusion there. And then on this side, with these 2 nodes, these 2 normal iron nodes, so each one of these produces 60. We aren't using the entirety of it yet. On this side we are producing iron ingots, obviously, to make iron plates, as well as cast screws, the alternate recipe that we found. To just out of 2 steps, or 3 steps I guess, we're making reinforced iron plates already, which is something that we need a lot of. As you can see here, it's part of the next milestone that we need for Logistics Mark II, and we're about halfway there, so we've been making them at a pretty good clip. And when we get to that point of completing milestone 2, or Logistics Mark II, we'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and we have all the necessary products to complete Logistics Mark II. And I did want to say one thing. At this point in the game, it's probably quicker to just produce whatever you need at the workbench, but what the hidden cost of that is that you have to sit there and craft everything at the crafting bench and wait and craft and wait and craft and wait. So get yourself to the point where you're just making the basic amount. That way you can free yourself up to do whatever you want. You don't have to sit there and sit at the workbench all day smacking a hammer. That's not our job. Our job is to exploit, right? Exploit this planet. And we do that through automation. So always think first, how can we automate something?
Milestone reached. Fix-It would like to remind you of your contractual obligation towards efficiency. Recreational use of belts and lifts does not count towards work hours and will put you on the list. Stay efficient, don't disappoint, fix it.
So, we have gotten a couple new things. Probably most important new thing we've gotten is Mark II belts, and Mark II lifts, and maybe even these conveyor poles. Put that on the belt on this wish list here. Though I don't think we need it. I think we can get them another way, but we'll just leave it for now. I think that's all we got. But I say that's all we got as if it's not a big deal, because we have now doubled our throughput, right? One thing I wanted to showcase is, you can push E. If you look down at the bottom there, E, it says quick switch. Lets you switch between all the variants of whatever you're holding. So let's see if we can do this. So if we grab the pole and we hit E, it does give us the stackable conveyor pole. So we don't really need that on our hotbar. Same thing with our lifts. We can go from Mark 1 to Mark 2. And we don't need both of these either, but it's just, this one is habit for me. I prefer it to be on its own hotkey. Especially once we get programmable. I can speak English. You know, I've only been speaking it for my whole life. But especially once we get programmable switches, whatever they're called, mergers and splitters, then we really want them all on their own, because you might hit the wrong one, and we don't want to mess with it like that. Anyway, we still have a few minutes. I'm just rambling before the pod comes back, so let's actually check. I think I kind of gave it away there, what we're going to do next as far as our milestones. We're going to get this resource sync bonus program. I'll tell you why that's extremely important, actually, before we do a time skip here. If you're looking for efficiency, nothing beats the awesome sync. Just sync everything that you're overproducing, because you can get as granular as you want. You can get down to I think it's the thousandths of a percentile. And that's insane, right? But you can do it if you want. Or you can just produce an excess and then get the awesome sync going. Oops. And then produce tickets, and from there, you're getting all the extra benefits of that. I don't know what is it. I don't even know. My mind's drawing a blank. But you get the benefits of the awesome shop and all of the cosmetic details and things like that. So totally worth it, at least in my opinion. I'm a builder. I love to build beautiful structures, even though this is a flat plane of hell. No, I'm just kidding. But at least as far as design goes, it's very plain and unjoyful, at least in my opinion. But we'll start building things. This is just a easy way to start yourself off. Make sure, and I did it in such a large way because I also wanted to say that it's important to give yourself enough space. Yes, it's cool to cram all your stuff in, but that's for the super professionals. And if you're just starting out, or you want to actually make some progress without tearing your brain out, or you don't like sitting in the blueprint area, finessing your way in with nudging your machines and things, then just give yourself enough space. And since there's infinite resources in this game, you literally cannot waste anything. So don't feel like anything is going to waste. It can all be recycled. So we'll be back in a little bit when it's time. Looks like we're back just in time to see our pod land. Tell me, the other day I was recording some footage and I had my microphone muted the whole time, and it was very annoying. Obligatory wipe text. But folks, that's where we're going to end it. Sure, I've done a lot in this episode. Thanks for watching. Now, until the next one, take care.